All right, welcome back to Pack Talk Podcast, episode 95 for our yearly health, fitness, and longevity. We added longevity now. Yearly health and fitness podcast. I'd like to review our protocols every year, see what's changed, see what we've learned. Ben, you've been gaining this year. You've been in a gain phase.
Yeah.
So what have you learned this year, health and fitness-wise? What are you doing? What's been working for you?
I've definitely been eating more. It kind of started off not on purpose. But then I was like...
Your gain phase started not on purpose.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, I guess this is how much food I should be eating, you know. And then just still working out, you know, at least 4 times a week. And then seeing some results from, you know, like from just working out, eating a lot of food and stuff like that.
So you increased your calories working out. Right?
I mean, I pretty everything, protein, carbs, you know, when you break it all down.
Right.
So yeah, eating more and then working out hard.
Yeah.
You know, like really challenging myself in the gym.
Yeah.
Proved to be, you know, gave me some results. You know, and then I started like actually getting serious about at least counting my macros as much as possible.
So you're eating without counting first.
Yeah,
you're just eating a lot of food.
Because pretty much it's like I was always under eating.
Yeah.
So and then it's like I'm eating more.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I probably should be eating this much. You know. And I'm not used to eating that much, so it's like a back and forth.
You had to train your body,
especially with me. You know, it's still like I have to really try hard.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, it's like I'll just eat bare minimum.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll be like, well, like I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna see results from the gym. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And now you're counting your calories formally.
I am.
Every day.
I'm tracking macros to I like to say to the best of my ability. Because sometimes I'll forget, but like I'll eat stuff that's like homemade. And then like you have to like manually.
You're guesstimating it.
Yeah, and then it's like that part I don't like. So sometimes I'll be like, whatever. I know what I'm.
You're very eating. Precise, is what you're saying. You want the precision calculation.
Yeah. If I'm gonna do it, I want that. You know, that mental tick or check when you plug it into your little calculator. Like if depending on what you use. Yeah. You know, me and you use the same app.
Carbon Diet Coach.
Carbon Diet.
Yeah.
So in there, you know, it has like the little graph, like the circles that'll charge up, you know, whenever you plug stuff in. So I think that's like an endorphin hit.
Yeah.
You know, when you do it. Yeah, dopamine. So it's like whenever I don't do that, it's like whatever, you know, because like I don't know if it's accurate or not.
Yeah.
You know, I can try and guesstimate, but it could be off.
So for your eating in a day, what's your general meals? If you were to say like this is generally what I eat every day. What's your majority of your food?
Probably the one that's the most loosey-goosey is breakfast. Because it's like sometimes I eat something super light like 2 waffles, which which is not a lot.
Carbs, maybe some protein in them?
Yeah.
Depending on the waffles you get.
It's very low amount.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll do like a yogurt shake or a drink. Like the Chobani does the yogurt drinks, and those are like 20 grams of protein, but not a lot of carbs. So it's like I'm normally lacking in one department, you know, whether it's carbs or protein. But then I make up for it throughout the day because I'll eat more the later the day goes on.
But you work out in the afternoon too, right?
Yeah, like 4 p.m.
Yeah. So your breakfast is kind of light.
My breakfast is light. Then like for lunch, I'll do like 2 to 3 peanut butter jelly sandwiches almost every day. And then I'll have like a snack like
between lunch and dinner. Between
lunch and dinner, I might have 1 to 2 snacks.
Oh,
I'll have like a sweet and salty bar, like a Nature Valley.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it'll be like something else to that degree. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And then for dinner, that's
your big meal.
Because then I'll do my protein shake after the gym. So that adds a lot of stuff because I do it with chocolate milk, Fairlife milk, obviously. And that's the only way to go. There's a lot of protein.
You put a protein scoop of powder in there, or you just got the milk?
No. Yeah. Putting the powder in there.
You got the, what is it, like whey protein?
Yeah, whey.
Because we know you're not drinking milk.
No,
you got milk.
Well,
you're on the milk.
when I just ran out. But
really?
I ran out on my last one. Then I was like, you got to order it online.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need it now. So then I went to the GNC.
So you didn't
got
plan
the
properly.
off-brand bullshit.
You didn't plan properly.
Yeah.
Because you ran out of milk.
Yeah, pretty much. And then
Well,
so
you
I'll
put
do
one
the protein. So 1 scoop with
2 scoops, 1 scoop.
No, just 1 scoop.
1 scoop.
1 scoop's necessary.
It's like what, 20 grams or so?
Yeah, roughly
of
24
protein?
24 grams.
And then you got your milk, which adds more.
10 ounces of chocolate milk or whole milk, depending on, because
That's
I need to get
protein.
my fats too.
Yeah, your fats are in there.
Which is where I don't get a lot of. And then so that's like for the next hour or two, like that has me covered for protein. And then I'll do like dinner. Dinner is like variable.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's like a heavy meal. It's heavy carbs, protein, fats in there.
It's either ground beef and rice, like natural grass-fed beef from Publix, or white rice, instant rice, which is double the carbs depending on what you do. Like I told you, I got the instant minute rice. Like you still have to put it in the pot and like boil it and like how you would make rice. But I guess
really. The instant rice, you still have to do all that stuff.
Yeah, well, it's like you boil the water, which takes like 2 minutes.
I thought instant rice was in the packet. You just throw it in the microwave.
No, there is rice like that, but it's not the rice because it's cheaper to buy it in the big box.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's like $5 for a big box.
Yeah,
that has like 10 cups in it.
Yeah,
and the packets are like 1 serving.
Yeah, they're definitely more expensive.
I'll fly through those. Bro. Yeah. And so the rice is a lot of carbs. If you do like 200 grams of rice, it's a lot of carbs.
See, I weigh my
it's
stuff
like half
mostly
my carbs.
That's crazy. How many carbs is it generally? So like 80?
I don't know the breakdown,
100?
but legit like 200 grams is like 100 plus like 124.
Really?
So, dude, it's a lot.
That's crazy.
And I told you I was calculating the wrong carbs. I had
you put the wrong rice in your
I
tracker.
put the wrong rice in the tracker, which is why I'm picky about tracking stuff. Because it's like, it's not accurate.
Yeah.
Or it could be not accurate.
Yeah.
So when I scan the barcode on the rice box that I use, it is like double the carbs.
Good Lord.
And I was like, oh my God, I've been doing the wrong thing this whole time. So my whole tracker had been off.
Oh, yeah.
And I went back the previous days.
And your weigh-ins.
And plugged it in. Yeah.
Your weigh-ins are off.
So I went back in the previous days when I found that out and plugged it in. And it was like my carbs shot through the roof. I was like, oh my God, this is, this is why I've been putting on the weight. But sometimes it's ground beef and rice. Sometimes it's like pasta and sausage because like me and my girlfriend do it. She's Italian.
She ain't your girlfriend.
She's my fiance.
Your fiance.
My fiance. Excuse me. Let me get the proper terminology.
Yeah, you better, because if she listens to this, which she
probably
probably won't.
She doesn't,
If she did happen to hear it, she'll be pissed.
Yeah.
She'll be pissed because she's got the ring on now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But then it's like sometimes she'll do like random things. Like last night we had like broccoli, beef.
Oh, she's cooking.
Yeah, she cooks sometimes, and then sometimes it's me.
Because we know you got the baking book yourself.
Yeah, that's for desserts. That's for desserts.
Yeah.
So, like yesterday it was like beef, broccoli, and ramen, which is really good.
Yeah.
But for those, like I'll take the recipes that she has, and I'll plug them in, and I'll create a recipe.
Yeah.
So I have it in the future.
I see what you're saying.
To the best of my ability. Yeah.
In your app. Yeah.
So that's the only way I can like get away with that, tracking that stuff.
Yeah, usually, like my wife Lauren's pretty good about this, but we'll make things separate. We make all ingredients separate. Then I just weigh everything out separately. Like spaghetti, for example, for having spaghetti. Some people make it in just a big giant pot. If we make everything separate, we keep it separate. That way we can weigh it all out individually as we put it together. It just works good for us.
That's the part where I don't care that much.
Yeah.
I have a general idea of what I'm getting.
Yeah.
So that,
If I go somewhere, though, and then it's like spaghetti is made, I'm just putting it in the tracker. I'm typing in a generic spaghetti with meat sauce and all that, and it'll give you an estimate, But what about your workouts? What are you, like, you're lifting 4 days a week, you said?
Yeah, roughly
about 4 days a week.
If I can get 5 in, I'll do that. But
what's your workouts like? What are you doing?
Well, I used to do like one muscle group a day. I used to try and do like 6 days a week, but just because how stuff is, I feel good where my workouts are at. So I'll do like back and chest, and I'll do those pretty hard. And I'll do 1 day of legs, and that's pretty much. So like if it's a 5-day rotation, I'll do chest and back twice a week, and then I'll do legs 1 day a week. And that's like on a good rotation. But if I'm not, then I'll do like, I'll make sure to get back and chest in as much as I can.
Oh, you're focused.
Sometimes
on the
I skip
upper body.
legs. I'm that dude. But like every other week, I'll cycle in legs if you know. But if I can do 5 days, I'll do legs for sure.
Yeah.
Because after I do legs, I'm like, I need to do that more.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. You don't want to skip them, boys.
But I used to do like arms one day, shoulders one day, you know. So, but now I've like added some arm exercises into my back day where I'll do biceps on back day. I'll do triceps on chest day. And I've reduced the amount of exercises. So it's like I'll do like 4 exercises for back. That's about it.
Yeah.
You know? I used to do like 6, you know.
Yeah, you don't want to overkill.
Yeah, and it's like that's too much.
Yeah.
Do like 4 sets each. That's like 16. Yeah. 16 working sets. Like that's enough.
Yeah.
Plenty.
Yeah.
Because by the end of it, I'm like getting bored. You know. And then also I'm like I don't even know if like doing all this stuff matters. Yeah. You know, where it was like going crazy.
I think the ideal rep range or sets is 10 to 20 sets per muscle group per week. Yeah. You know, so chest, if you have 2 chest days, you know. If you were to do 5 sets on your first day, 5 sets on your second day, that's technically within that 10 to 20 set range.
Yeah, I've been
for optimal muscle growth.
Picking and choosing from what I know, because for how long I've been working out since college, you know, like I know certain exercises I like to do them, like lat pull downs. I'm doing them. I'm getting the wide back. Oh yeah, you know, I'm doing bent over rows. Oh yeah. You know, I'm hitting the lats. But also,
you got your go-tos.
He's really big now on social media. Sam Solik, you know him.
Oh yeah, I've seen his stuff.
He's got a lot. You know, he's very helpful, I would say, in talking through. Like I would compare him to what we do for dog training. Talk through.
He's always got the mic clipped to his hat.
Yeah, he's got it clipped on his hat. Yeah.
He's always got his hair crazy too. Yeah.
He does kind of like. I mean, I definitely think he's doing steroids because he's like abnormally large.
He's definitely on steroids.
He's abnormally large, and his food, like the amount of food he eats, is insane.
Yeah, the food that he eats too is not optimal. You know,
dude. But I mean, he's big, but like for people that. For how big he is now, I mean, he's got like 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, he's a big dude for sure.
There's a lot of dudes like that are probably getting into bodybuilding or working out. They're like, I need to be as big as him, and it's like unrealistic expectations maybe that they have going into it. But it's like if you pick and choose what he, like, I'll take what he says, which is do the heaviest weight you can after your warm-ups because that's when you're most primed up, right? Rather than going light into your heavy where you're starting to fatigue your body. And I found that that's helped me like push way more weight. Nice. So I'm doing like double the weight now. Maybe not double. But I'm doing not double. But I'm doing like more weight now that I probably wouldn't have considered doing without, you know, because I would do the light going and build your reps up. And I think now working like heavier sets in the beginning and then like just like pretty much just blasting your, if it's like lat pull downs, you know, 2 heavy sets or 3 heavy sets and then 1 set that's like light and just do more reps just for a burnout. Yeah. You know, or maybe a drop set or something. Yeah. And that's helped me a lot. Yeah. And on top of my eating. Yeah. You know,
for sure.
I've definitely put more weight on.
I mean, when you're lifting or whenever you're working out, you know, per se, you're trying to force your body to, you're breaking down your body. And then your recovery after that is what develops your adaptation to, if you're like building muscle, for example, you're breaking down your muscle, then your recovery after, which includes eating, sleeping, all these types of things is what rebuilds your muscle to be bigger, you know, stronger. Yeah. Then you tear it down again. Yeah. But you don't want to do it too soon, you know, because if you do it too soon, it's like if you were to have a scab on your hand, you know, if you were to take sandpaper and rub that scab, it can't heal. Yeah. You know, so if you work out too soon before your body's fully recovered, you're never letting that scab heal over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, sleep's the big one.
Yeah, definitely. I learned a lot this year too. What's your goal with working out and eating? Just,
I mean, 170 was my weight.
That's talking always about like size. First size. You're like, I want to get to this
body weight 170. Right. Has always been my goal, and I'm at like I've been playing or like fluctuating between 167 and 168, 169. So I've been like 1 pound. I've never hit 170 yet, which is
a little bit more food.
little bit more food. But
Little
then
bit
it's
more
like I
weights.
fluctuate weight so much. I'm just my body just fluctuates that much that it's like maybe I'm just good where I'm at. You know, the 165 to 170. You know, in between that range, I feel like I'm happy with. And then just pushing myself a little bit more. In the
Do you
gym.
still have your carbon diet coach set to gain, or are you at a maintenance?
No, it's still on gain.
You're on a gain
because I haven't hit all the requirements technically and according to the
compliance.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You haven't been in compliance with your weekly eating?
Yeah, like on my check-ins, it's like I'm normally off by a little bit.
Oh, really? You gotta
But
get in
it's like
compliance.
sometimes that could be because I don't track a food for one day, or it's like maybe I just wasn't eating that. It just is like variable.
Yeah.
You know?
If you don't use Carbon Diet Coach and you're listening, it's an app. You put your food in there. Once a week, it tells you to weigh in. I weigh in every day. I give it that input every single day because it gives it more, information on your weight fluctuations.
Yeah.
And then you want to weigh yourself in at the same time every day.
Yeah.
So I just weigh myself in the morning before I eat anything. If you were to weigh yourself in the evening after you've eaten for the day, you got to weigh yourself in consistently at that time. But then once a week you do that weigh-in, it checks you in, and it's going to ask you, were you compliant to your macros that week?
Yeah.
You want to be in compliance, which means you're staying within your macronutrient ranges each day, and it'll tell you for the week as well. And if you're in compliance, obviously you check yes, and now the app knows to make adjustments to your eating, right? If you're not in compliance, it'll probably just tell you, okay, keep trying to eat at this level, and it won't change your stuff until you're in compliance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right? That's what
it gives you like your average of the week.
Yeah.
Like, so if it's like you had a goal of 100 grams of protein a day and you only did like 70 every day, then your average is like 70, or whatever.
Yeah.
Then it'll adjust your stuff if it needs to.
Yeah.
Or if it'll suggest it.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So
I think for anybody out there in the health and fitness world, first of all, you got to think about what your goal is. Like what you said, you're trying to get to 170. My goal right now is I want to be functional. I want to be able to operate, pick up kids, train dogs, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? So I've changed my training styles. And so I've learned a lot this year. We're just going to kind of go through some of that. But fitness is the ability to perform a particular duty or task. So when I think about fitness, I'm thinking about weightlifting, swimming, running, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to be able to perform that task. And then health is a state of being free from injury or illness. So I think on the health side, it's like some of those other things like sleep, diet, supplements, if you're taking those, things to help keep you as injury and illness free as possible, 95%, most people might not know this, but 95% of health benefits are realized simply by weight loss itself. Doesn't matter what your diet is. So if you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to be losing weight over time if you're compliant to your diet. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter if you're eating ramen noodles or if you're eating McDonald's or if you're eating, carnivore diet or paleo diet, whatever. If you're in a calorie deficit, less calories in your burning, you are going to lose weight over time. And for a lot of people, you're going to see health benefits, especially if the body fat percentage is super high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that a lot of people don't know, right? And in today's world, we're constantly eating things, constantly snacking. So we have a lot of people that are like overweight, and all they need to do to lose some of that weight is just eat less food. That'd be the first step they could take,
Yeah.
Then we got our longevity considerations, which we've done podcast 89 on Dr. Peter Attia's book, deep diving into, cancer, heart disease, metabolic health, dementia, things like that, focusing on living a good, healthy life. So, a lot of people ask like, oh, what's the best diet for this? What's the best diet for that? And the best diet is the one that you're going to be compliant to.
Yeah.
If you're trying to hit this goal, let's just say it's getting to, 200 pounds or something if you're trying to gain weight or lose weight. People that are weighing 300 pounds might be trying to lose 100 pounds to get to 200 pounds. People that are, tend to be skinnier, maybe they're trying to gain weight from 180 to 200 pounds. So whatever's going on with your situation, the best diet is the one that you're going to follow and be compliant to.
Yeah.
Now, in my opinion, most people struggle with that because they go extreme. You know, they go paleo, or they go carnivore, or they go vegan or whatever. And all those diets are fine if that's what you like. But a lot of people they like eating pizza, they like eating cheeseburgers, they like having ice cream. And so rather than just having like a balanced diet where you're just tracking your stuff and you're just eating within your compliance for that day, that week, you know, they're just like on the strict diet, and then all of a sudden they binge.
Yeah.
You know, they go off the deep end, you know, and one day a week can just screw you over.
Yeah, seriously.
You know, if you're in a calorie deficit and then on Friday night or Saturday night, you go out to the burger bar, get you a nice fat burger and a milkshake, you're done. You just screwed your whole week up with that one night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sounds so good, though. Oh.
That is good. But that's why tracking is important, you know, because if you're tracking it, you can plan this stuff out, you know?
Yeah.
And if you can't, if you're not tracking, then you can't measure your progress. You know, you're just estimating everything. So, you know, one of the things I'm big on, obviously, is tracking stuff. I'm tracking my macros, tracking my weight, tracking my body fat percentage, blood pressure, trying to track the weight that I'm lifting. So I know, okay, I need to increase this in a week or two. I need to make sure that I'm increasing my weight. And blood work, I've been getting my blood work done this year, you know. So my goal this past year has been kind of reverse of what you were doing. And for the listener that doesn't know, you know, you basically have 3 phases you can go into with your body. You can go into a maintenance phase where you're just maintaining your weight. You're trying to eat calories, macronutrients, protein, fats, carbs that are going to keep you at your same weight, right? You can go into a calorie surplus where you're starting to try to gain weight, which is what you've been doing, and what I was doing last year. Or you could go into a calorie deficit, which is where you're trying to lose weight. Now, when you're doing that, most people's goal, if you're at maintenance, we're just maintaining that weight. If you go into a calorie surplus, your goal ideally would be to add lean muscle mass and not as much body fat. You see what I'm saying? But anytime you go into a surplus, you are going to gain some level of body fat. It is going to happen, right? If you go into a calorie deficit, your goal most likely would be to maintain or keep your muscle, but lose fat, not lose muscle and fat. Yeah. So that can be tricky. That's what I've been trying to figure out this year, you know? And at the beginning of this year, like in January, I decided, okay, we're about to go into a fat loss phase. And so I was at 224 pounds at the time and like 25% body fat. And so currently I'm at 197 pounds and I'm down to 18% body fat. My goal is 15% body fat. So what I'm trying to do is slowly just lose weight, but lose body fat. And the way I've been doing that is keeping my workouts really hard so that I'm trying to communicate to my body, you need this muscle. You need to hold on to this muscle. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then that way the body will, give up more fat, burn off more fat than it will muscle. Right. But I have lost some muscle for sure,
Yeah, I feel like the cut's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, super
because you're going to get smaller than what you're used to.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that mind game, you know what I'm saying? But what's been working for me, so again, I've been doing this year. I've been playing around with it. Obviously, I'm using the Carbon Diet Coach to track my calories. I'm tracking my weight in there and my body fat. And so what I've been doing is whenever I first started, I started in February, and I just went hard. And I went for like 2 months in a calorie deficit. And I was, I pretty much burnt myself out pretty quick because as you start not having enough food available or that you're used to, you get more tired. Yeah. Your workouts aren't as good,
pissed off.
You get kind of upset.
Yeah.
So I kind of hit that, and then I realized I'm screwing myself here. So I went into maintenance for a little bit, for a couple weeks. Yeah. And even eating at maintenance calories, you get your energy back. Yeah. You get your performance back. Your mood changes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so ever since then, what I would do is I'll go into a deficit for like 3 to 4 weeks at, less calories than required to maintain my body. And then I'll basically take a break and I'll eat at maintenance calories for 1 to 2 weeks so I can perform. I can start to recover a little bit better, because also when you have less food, you're not recovering as well.
Yeah.
You know, just bringing myself back up to a good level mentally, you know, physically, and then go into another 3 or 4 week sprint per se of calorie deficit, you know. And for my body specifically, I start to see changes at 3 weeks in a calorie deficit. Like I can tell, like, okay, I've definitely burnt some fat off,
right?
You know. And then 1 to 2 weeks at maintenance is good for me. I'm going to take the whole holiday season here from basically now through Christmas at maintenance, just so I can eat.
We're going to need to be at maintenance, boys.
And my maintenance is like 3,000 calories.
Yeah.
That's my maintenance.
Yeah. That's a lot still.
What's your gain?
I don't even know. It's definitely in the upper 2,000s, I think. It might be 3,000.
See, a deficit for me.
It might be.
Yeah, a deficit for me is like 2,500 calories, which is still a lot of food.
That is a lot of food, yeah.
A maintenance for me is 3,000 calories, which is hard for me to eat at sometimes.
Yeah, it's a lot of food.
It's a lot of carbs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because you get all sleepy and stuff.
But one of the things that I found is, like, when I'm in a deficit for several weeks, my body wants to rest more. It wants to sleep more, which makes getting up early to go work out more difficult. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it makes sense to me because your body's trying to preserve energy.
Yeah.
You know, so obviously it's not ideal for fat loss to sleep more, rest more. So you have to keep your body moving. You have to force yourself to move. You have to realize that that's happening too, because it'll be like a subconscious thing. You'll decide to sit down instead of stand up.
Yeah.
You'll decide to sit down instead of like going for a walk. Like you'll make these decisions. You won't even realize it.
Yeah.
Unless you're paying attention to it, then you're like, okay, my body's trying to rest more, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's losing food. It doesn't have enough food available.
Yeah, the cut is.
So you gotta legit keep yourself moving. Because the majority of the reason why you're burning calories is what you're doing throughout the whole day. Most people think it's your 45-minute or 1 hour workout. That's not where you're burning, you know, the majority of your calories. It's not. Like running, like cardio should not be considered fat loss. You know, cardio's for cardiovascular training. So it's like what you're doing throughout the day. So moving your hands when you're talking, standing, walking.
Brain power.
Yep. Just shifting around. Those types of things are how you're burning the energy, you know. But for me, you know, going to a couple weeks at maintenance and then a couple weeks in a deficit has helped me stay sane, and it seems to be working pretty good for me.
Nice.
You know, so if you're trying to lose some body fat, maybe that's a tactic you try if you're listening, you know, and it's going to depend on your goals again. But again, I'm going for 15% body fat. That's my goal. Once I hit that, and this is all just measured on my scale. Yeah. It's not 100% accurate. It's just that's just the number I'm going off of, is what that scale's telling me. And once I hit that 15% body fat, I'm just going to eat at maintenance calories for a couple months, and then I'll start to go into a muscle building phase or a gain phase. I'm going to do that in reverse. So I'm going to eat in a surplus for a couple weeks, eat at maintenance, eat in surplus for a couple weeks, eat at maintenance, with the goal to slowly add muscle while trying to keep my body fat as low as possible. So I'm going to experiment with that. Yeah. Once I get the 15% body fat. But one of the reasons why I'm going for the 15% body fat is because I read Dr. Peter Attia's book that we did the podcast on, episode 89. And, you know, he was talking about visceral fat, which is the fat around your organs, the fat that's inside your body, how that's bad for you longevity wise. And for many years, I've been at like 20+% body fat. So I was like, time to make a change. But it's hard, you know? Yeah. Because I'm the kind of guy, too, I like being bigger. Yeah. I like, you know, lifting more weight and all that. So it's definitely been a change for me.
Yeah. Got to find your balance for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But so I started the fat loss phase in January or February. I finished Dr. Peter Attia's book at that same time. And I started working with a company called Marek Health to get my blood work done. So I've gotten 2 rounds of blood work done this year. Yeah. We'll talk about those in a second. But, you know, all these changes I was making as I'm shifting my thoughts towards living a long, healthy life, even though I'm early 30s.
Yeah.
This not too early to start.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone that's looking to get, thinking about longevity or thinking about their blood work, I'm just going to tell you about my experience with this company, Marek Health.
Let's hear it.
So what I did was I went to Efferding.com, which is the guy that created the vertical diet.
Right.
You ever heard of it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
Every day from you.
So the vertical diet is just a diet plan that I follow. And again, you don't have to follow any specific diet plan. You got to follow the one that works best for you.
Mm-hmm.
The vertical diet just works best for me.
Yeah.
So I went to the guy that created the vertical diet, Efferding.com, his website. He's a partner with Marek Health. So I just went there. I ordered the vertical diet blood panel.
Yeah.
Which is like, the one that is recommended on the vertical diet. Then I selected to have a doctor review my blood work with me. Once you submit all that, you pay for it. I forget how much it is, a couple $100.
Right.
Then you schedule a time to go into your local LabCorp, and you just go there. You get your blood work done. They're also going to do a urine sample for the vertical diet panel.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically you get your results, and then you meet with the doctor via telehealth.
Yeah.
So it's all on your computer. You don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And they'll just read through your blood work. They'll give you recommendations. And the good thing about Marek Health is they are very aligned with Dr. Peter Attia. Like, they've done podcasts with them and all that.
Yeah.
And so they're on the same page, basically, which
Nice.
which was aligning to what I was trying to go for.
Yeah. That's good.
Because, standard doctors or normal doctors might not be thinking the same way that they're thinking, which is
Right.
the preventative medicine,
Yeah.
not the reactionary medicine.
Yeah. Standard doctor might be like, oh, you're good.
Exactly.
You're healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll see you when you're 40.
Yeah.
But one of the things on the vertical diet panel is the ApoB, which is your indicator of risk of heart disease even later in life. It's the best indicator. And so your standard doctor, your normal doctor, probably is not going to get that tested in your blood work.
Yeah.
But Marek Health and the vertical diet panel is going to be doing that.
Yeah.
And like your ApoB, and with your ApoB, like Dr. Attia says, that it should be below 60, ideally below 30. When I first got my first blood test done, mine was at 107, which is pretty high.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Really?
And so, talking to my doctor, obviously I'm concerned about that.
Yeah.
Because I read the book, and I'm like, I see that number. I'm like, holy shit.
Out.
I was starting to freak out.
Yeah.
And,
it's all over.
Yeah, he's like, it's definitely high,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so we were able to figure out that some of the things that I was doing at the time were not helping it.
Yeah.
Because I was eating pretty much a very fatty diet. I was eating, fatty
20%.
fatty cuts of red meat,
Yeah.
like 85-15 ground beef with rice basically every meal. That was basically what I was eating at the time.
Yeah.
I was getting less than 6 hours of sleep most nights, which plays a big factor.
Not good to go.
And then also genetically, I am just predisposed to having a higher ApoB.
Right.
And there's another indicator on your blood test. It's called Lp(a), but your Lp(a) can tell you what your genetic predisposition is to that. So that's
Right.
why we were able to determine that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the Marek Health doctors, they're aligned with Dr. Peter Attia. So we see this number. We're like, okay, we want this to be less than 60. Ideally, we want it as close to 30 as possible. And the doctor told me he just got his to 30. So he was already checking that box off.
Yeah.
And so we immediately, that was the priority, get the ApoB under control.
Yeah.
And like most standard doctors, when you're doing a blood test, like I said, they're not going to test your ApoB.
Right.
So if you're getting blood work done and you're not seeing your ApoB on there, apolipoprotein B,
Right.
you need to ask for that, or you can get with a different company to get that done. You know what I'm saying? But most doctors are going to test for your LDL, your HDL, which Marek Health will also test for. It's just not the best indicator of your risk of heart disease.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So a lot of people are talking about LDL, HDL, lipids, things like that. Your lipid panel is important, but your ApoB is the number one indicator of your heart risk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my ApoB was super high. My Lp(a) was super high. My testosterone was very low, which was probably due to same things like high fat diet, not enough sleep.
Yeah.
So anyway, got all that stuff under control. got my ApoB. My ApoB is now 61, which I'm at that 60 mark.
Nice.
Going down towards 30.
Nice.
LP little A's down. Yeah, testosterone tripled.
Yeah.
So good to go with all
Crazy.
that. So basically there were 6 months between the blood tests.
Yeah.
So definitely happy about that. But here's a couple things that I immediately implemented following my doctor visit for my first blood test. Number one, getting serious about the vertical diet and following it precisely. So before this, I was aware of the vertical diet. I just wasn't following it that well.
Right.
And the vertical diet is big about getting in your micronutrients every day. Your food choices, your daily fat percentage of total calories, which they recommend keep it below 30,
Right.
30%
Yeah.
fats for the day, which you can set in the Carbon Diet Coach, which I showed you that one time.
Yeah.
Getting enough sleep. They recommend, vertical diet recommends at least 7 hours of sleep a night, 7 to 9 hours.
Yeah.
So I got serious about the vertical diet. I got serious about sleep, making sure I can get 7 hours of sleep a night.
Mm-hmm.
Got serious about changing up my daily fat percentage of total calories, which I keep at 30% total calories for the day,
Yeah.
which is easy with the Carbon Diet Coach. You set that. Now you're just, being in compliant with your eating.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did adjust some supplements. Now, the Marek Health guys were recommending I take supplements from a different company, but you know me, JOCKOFUEL.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I was about to say.
They were recommended it because another thing you can do is you can get on testosterone replacement therapy.
Yeah.
If your testosterone is super low. My doctor is opposed to that unless you have to do it.
Right. Yeah.
So he's like, try like a natural testosterone optimizer. So
Right.
JOCKOFUEL has one. So I
Yeah.
took that, taking the Jocko Time War at that time. I started taking that.
Right.
And then I started taking daily ezetimibe, which is like an attack on the ApoB. It directly impacts the ApoB.
Dang.
So those are kind of like the main things I did, and I'm still doing those, and they
Right.
definitely improved my blood markers,
Yeah.
so we're looking really good.
Nice.
But the vertical diet, I definitely recommend it. As far as eating goes, that's kind of what I'm eating every day is following the vertical diet, and I have the book over here
Yeah.
on the table, but it's just a good, handbook to follow.
Yeah.
The way it lays everything out. The program was created by Stan Efferding. Like I said, I was on his website, and he's the strongest power lifter, bodybuilder combination. He competed in powerlifting. He competed in bodybuilding. He was on steroids for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, again,
He's been a part of everything.
yeah, he's been on the whole train.
Yeah.
But, even dudes on steroids, they still have to eat, right?
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
not like a magic pill. It just helps you with recovery,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But so anyway, he created the vertical diet, and it focuses on getting in your daily micronutrients. It lays out the micronutrients you should be getting. It tells you how you can get them from food. Stan Efferding, he's big on getting all of your nutrients from food,
Yeah.
only supplementing if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the foods in his program here, bell peppers, carrots,
Right.
which he recommends cooking bell peppers to
Huh.
get the nutrients more bioavailable.
Interesting.
Recommends eating carrots raw because that's the
Yeah.
best form to get those nutrients.
I mean, they taste the best too, bro.
They do taste good. They're kind of sweet.
I don't like cooked carrots.
They're kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Spinach. He recommends spinach cooked. 1 potato a day for the micronutrients in a potato, and it doesn't matter if it's a white potato or a sweet potato. But both are good.
Mashed?
Sometimes I have them mashed.
You gotta.
Mashed potatoes are good.
Be having mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving
Oh yeah, definitely.
during the holidays.
Oh, definitely. He's big on red meat,
Yeah.
lean red meat though.
Yeah.
So
10,
yeah, well, 96.4,
96,
96.4, super lean ground beef.
937 is the only one I can. That's the lowest.
96.4, you can get it in some places. I have to order mine. Yeah, but also, for steak, you got a sirloin.
Yeah.
A top sirloin steak is going to be your most lean steak. Bless you.
Excuse me.
So red meat, he wants you to eat leaner red meat, but still eat red meat because of the amount of nutrients that are in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's the best.
Yeah, definitely.
Chicken's good though. Chicken's lean.
It's super
meat,
lean, but it doesn't have the nutrients in it.
Yeah.
As many nutrients.
Yeah.
Then he recommends salmon, sockeye salmon, twice a week if you can. Get those nutrients in. Bone broth has a lot of nutrients in it as well, and good for digestion.
Yeah.
He's big on fruit. He's also big on dairy. He recommends drinking a glass of milk a day at a minimum. I can't really tolerate milk that well with my lactose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? So no fair.
But for me, Chobani,
Oh, yeah.
Chobani every day, boys.
Yeah,
the Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
That's how you get your calcium in and your more protein, like
That's
you were
the
talking
yogurt
about.
I eat.
So anyway, that's just some examples. But like if you get the book, there's a hard copy book, there's an ebook. You can get either one for the vertical diet.
Yeah.
It'll literally tell you like, okay, you need this much potassium per day. So these are the foods that you would eat to get potassium.
That's good.
Could be spinach or whatever.
Yeah.
You know. Then he's got example meal plans in there.
Nice.
And the vertical diet has 2 sections. It's got the horizontal portion of the diet, and then it goes vertical from there. So the horizontal portion of your diet is your day, your foundation of your day, your micronutrients, your bone broth, your carrots, your bell peppers, your spinach, your potato, your fruit, dairy. Those are your foundation to your diet. Then going vertical from there is your red meat and your white rice. So you make sure you get your micronutrients in every single day. Mm-hmm. And obviously those are going to take up some of your macros for that day. As soon as you hit that foundation, now you're focused on your red meat and white rice, and that's how you're going to finish off your macronutrients for that day, by eating more white rice if you need more carbs, or more red meat if you need more protein or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I still like eating foods like pizza. I like ice cream, so I eat those. I just make sure I calculate them in my macronutrients. But the first priority of every day is to get my micronutrients in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to be eating pizza or ice cream or cookies or anything until my micronutrients are done.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
The vertical diet also covers sleep, lowering your blood pressure, stability training, zone 2 cardio, walking after your meals to aid in digestion. That's a big thing that he's all about. The guy that created the vertical diet is walking after you eat. That aids in digestion and moving nutrients throughout your body, which I do religiously.
Yeah.
And it makes a pretty big difference. Yeah. And you feel better, too, when you're just moving. Because what do you want to do after Thanksgiving?
Honey, turn the TV on.
You want to go fall on the couch, take a nap, you know, which is fine sometimes, but majority of the time you want to be moving around, you know.
No, I think a good, like, in terms of like a Thanksgiving meal, you know, if like you're going ham, especially during the holidays, hey,
definitely want to
eat your
walk.
food, get somebody from your family to go for a walk with you. You know, like a little 10-minute walk. Maybe you got your kids or something, or you know, maybe you're someone you're dating or your parents, or go for a little 10-minute walk, chat it up, you know, go back inside, eat some dessert.
Here we go.
Then lay down.
Go for another
walk.
All right, so my daily eating, I got 4 meals I eat every day. My morning meal, my breakfast, is my most religious meal, unlike yours.
Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm going to work out first thing in the morning, come back. Now I'm attacking breakfast for me. Breakfast is going to be my spinach, a sweet potato, bell peppers, carrots, bone broth, red meat, super lean red meat, 96.4 ground beef, and then raw honey. And this is my most micronutrient-dense meal. It's right after my workout. And then right after I finish this, I'm going for my first walk of the day with my dogs. It's usually about 20 minutes. And I'm trying to push all those nutrients throughout my body, right, so my body can start using them. Yeah. So that's my most micronutrient-dense heavy meal. And then after that meal, I got my lunchtime meal. That's usually like some fruit, some rice, some red meat. My afternoon meal between lunch and dinner, usually a supplement, you know, so that's usually a shake for me. And I got like a scoop of Jocko Milk in there. Obviously. Got some JOCKOFUEL greens. I put those in there. Even though I probably don't need them because I got my micronutrients from my food, I still like having that extra oomph of micronutrients, you know. Yeah. Plus they taste good. Obviously. JOCKOFUEL creatine, I add that in there. And then I add in frozen fruit and Chobani non-fat Greek yogurt. And you got to be careful you pick the non-fat Greek yogurt, because if you don't, you'll have like more fat in there.
Yeah, it depends with the yogurt.
Yeah, it depends on like what your macronutrients are, but for me, I got to pay attention to those fats very carefully. I only get 30% of my daily calories are fat, and most of that's going to be my red meat. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, good point.
Dinner for me, usually I'll have 1 or 2 eggs, rice, either red meat or salmon.
Eggs for dinner?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you want the majority of your fats before you go to sleep.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
As far as nutrient timing goes.
As
far as nutrient timing goes, you want your leanest meal right after your workout. So that's why I got that 96 full red meat right there.
Yeah.
Not a lot of fats in there. Lunch, dinner, those are going to be your more fatty meals. You know, dinner for me, I eat a pretty good portion of calories for my dinner because I'm resetting my body for my workout the next morning, you know, because I don't eat before I go.
That's right.
So I have more fat in the evening because that's when your body's going to use it better. And I have a lot of carbs in the evening because I want those carbs to be ready to be used first thing in the morning, you know. So that's basically like my eating every day. Now, if I'm having like pizza, that'll be in the evening, and I'll only have 1 or 2 slices. You know how I used to eat pizza?
Yeah, we would go to we go to Cece's pizza bar, Little Caesars. Just you would eat a whole damn pizza.
I'd eat a lot of pizza
with the macaroni on it, or with
I wouldn't do that.
I mean,
no.
I would have the macaroni.
You would do that, yeah.
I would not touch that pizza now, dude. Like nowadays, I would never.
Yeah, thinking about how I used to eat's crazy.
You would go hit the dessert bar after you eat a whole pizza. There's a reason why we'd be sluggish.
Oh yeah,
after
definitely.
lunchtime.
Definitely.
You know, this is before the vertical diet. Clearly, you know.
But like if like let's say the kids are having pizza, you know, they got 1 or 2 pieces left over, I'll have 1 or 2 pieces. That just basically for me means less rice in the evening. Yeah. Maybe a little bit less red meat because of the fats or whatever.
Yeah.
But the red meat that I eat, it's pretty lean. It's 96.4 ground beef, top sirloin steak, sirloin roast. Those are basically the cuts that I eat.
Yeah.
Because when I'm in a calorie deficit, my fats are super low. We're talking about like 50 grams a day. You know, when I'm at maintenance, it's at like 70 grams a day.
Dang.
If I go into muscle building, obviously I'll have more fats available.
Yeah.
You know, but for right now, it's like that's what I got to pay attention to.
Yeah.
You know, and again, like I said, I know that for me, fats can increase my ApoB production. So it's probably a genetic thing, but that's why I just got to dial that in specifically.
Yeah.
1 to 2 eggs a day for me. Eggs are nature's multivitamin, so I make sure I get those in. I don't eat eggs for the protein because the protein in them is very minimal. You eat eggs for the micronutrients in them.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to eat it for the protein, I think you got to do like more of the egg whites, just a lot of those. I mean, it's 6 grams per egg.
Yeah, I'll eat like 3 eggs. If I do breakfast, I'll do like 3 eggs with like some hash browns.
That's probably 18 grams or so of protein.
It's like minimal.
More
protein.
fats too.
Yeah.
Fattier. Yeah.
It's like,
but good micronutrients. I mean, they're good multivitamin.
Yeah.
You know?
Obviously cage free.
Obviously.
You know?
Obviously.
Publix brand.
Well, for me, it's free range.
Yeah, free range for you. Yeah. I had some of the Guinea eggs one time.
Yeah, they're good.
Or, you know, you gave me the carton of the Guinea eggs.
Yeah. Sockeye salmon 1 to 2 times a week for me. I just get that at Publix, you know, at a minimum. Sometimes I have some left over because I cook too much, and so at that point I'll just got some more. I'll scatter throughout the week and eat that. Obviously, my daily supplements are JOCKOFUEL. Obviously, I'm taking the testosterone optimizer, which obviously helped me get to that triple testosterone number, in addition to my sleep and all that. I'm taking the JOCKOFUEL Time War, which is your daily overall multivitamin matrix. It helps with longevity too. If I'm sick or if my immunity system's under attack, I will take some Cold War. And then I'm taking the vitamin D3 every day and the daily shake I was talking about earlier with the milk, the greens, the creatine. So that's kind of the supplements I'm taking.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll have some Jocko Go energy drinks. No
1
factor.
or 2 a day.
One
couple a day.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there are times where I'll just go cold turkey on them.
Yeah.
On any caffeine.
Yeah.
You know, I do that.
Feeling it.
I do that pretty often, actually.
Yeah,
I'll go several days, no caffeine.
Yeah.
That way, when you get on it again, it's a heavy hitter.
Oh yeah, for
you know.
Sure. Yeah.
You have a cup of coffee after that, you're
going crazy. Yeah. Sometimes I'll do a couple days.
You're freaking amped.
And
you know,
1 cup of coffee sends you.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, wow.
Then you drink a Go. You know, after a couple days of no caffeine, you're freaking
goes. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
amp your shit up.
I'll do that for sure. So yeah, that's kind of like my diet and supplements. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then exercises for me, I've been playing around with this a lot, but currently I'm focused on maintaining my strength and increasing my cardiovascular fitness.
Yeah.
You know, this is why, you know, Chris and Kevin, they're like, Chad's not even breathing hard,
Yeah, you are going ham on the cardio.
Yeah, I've been doing the cardio, boys.
Swimming, running.
VO2 max training.
Yeah.
So basically my training right now, I'm lifting weights 4 days a week. I change up my exercises every 8 weeks or so just to keep things interesting for me. So just for an example, I might do like barbell bench press for 8 weeks. And then the next cycle I'll do dumbbell, bench press or incline. I don't really do bench press, but incline press.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just an example. I'll just rotate it because I kind of get bored after 8 weeks or so,
Yeah.
Changing it up. But I am tracking it every day in my phone. I got like a note in my phone that tells me Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Those are my lifting days.
Mm-hmm.
I got the exercises I'm doing, and I'll just write the weight in there.
Yeah.
That way the next week I can force myself to do just a little bit more.
Yeah.
That way you're not
reminder.
That way you're not being like a little sissy and like, this feels heavy today. And it was the same weight you did last week.
You do that for like a month.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's easy to fall in that trap,
Mm-hmm.
I also focus on some exercises that help me perform in my jiu-jitsu training. So for those, I'm doing like hip abductions, which is that machine where you got to squeeze it.
I'm doing those.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm doing
those.
those.
They're good. And then I focus also on the glute bridges where you're like, pushing your hips up.
Is that the hip thrusts?
Yeah, the hip thrust. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do like knees over toes training for knee joint strength. I'll do like a bunch of shoulder joint exercises and grip development.
Right.
Those are like my main exercises I'm never changing because they help me in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I swim once a week. This is usually like a zone 2 cardio. So when you're doing your cardio training, you basically got 2 things to focus on. Like if you're running 5Ks or you're doing a race or just cardiovascular fitness, there's like 2 main things to focus on, which we covered in episode 89 of the podcast with the Dr. Peter Attia book. You got your zone 2 cardio. You got your VO2 max cardio. So your zone 2 cardio is your cardio foundation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you're training zone 2, you can do it a bunch of different ways. You can walk, you can jog, you can swim, you can do the rower, you can do the bike, whatever. But when you're training zone 2, you know that you're in zone 2 when you can have a conversation, but that it's kind of strained. You're like having to breathe pretty heavy while you're talking.
Yeah.
That's how you know your body's in zone 2. It's just the easiest way to know. And the vertical diet recommends that you train zone 2 150 minutes a week. So if you're walking a dog, for example, if you have a dog, you're walking your dog 3 times a day, 10 minutes each time, just as an example. That's 30 minutes a day of walking. 30 times 7 is
21.
Yeah. Well,
Or,
210.
I was thinking 3.
Yeah, 210.
210, yeah.
Yeah, 210. So that means you're exceeding the 150 minutes of zone 2 per week. But that means when you're walking your dog, you got to walk fast and hard to get your body into that zone 2 training state.
Yeah.
And that's what the vertical diet recommends. Dr. Peter Attia likes training at least 30 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
So not doing it less than 30 minutes. But anyway, train your zone 2 at least 150 minutes per week. And again, you can do it a number of ways. VO2 max is your all-out effort. That's training your body to use oxygen more efficiently. So when you're training your VO2 max, Dr. Attia recommends training it once per week. And the workout is pretty intense. It's 4 rounds, 4 minutes at a high effort, 4 minutes at a resting effort.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you're at the 4 minutes of high effort, you got to be pushing the gas, working really hard to keep your heart rate up, to keep your body breathing super hard. And then as soon as that 4 minutes is over, you're just basically walking at a slow pace or resting to let your heart rate come all the way down. You got to do that 4 times. So it takes about 32 minutes.
Yeah.
32 minutes once a week, no big deal.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things you got to be conscious about. You have to put specific effort into it because when you're doing it, your body's telling you slow down.
Oh, yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you can do it a bunch of different ways. You can train your VO2 max a bunch of different ways. Like I've done the rower machine, elliptical, treadmill. Those are like my go-to. Assault bike.
Yeah.
But basically the reason why I like doing it on a machine, a cardio machine, versus just running on the sidewalk is because you know how when you're doing a machine, like just think about an assault bike. Have you done those before?
Yeah.
You're doing like an assault bike.
Right.
You know how it's got the timer on there and it tells you what your pace is?
Yeah.
I can start pushing myself really hard. It'll tell me my pace is like, 5 minutes, whatever. You just keep it at that pace.
Yeah.
Or if you're running the treadmill and you're running at like a 10-minute mile and that's super hard for you, you stay at that pace for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's why I like a machine, because I can figure out what pace I'm going at that intense 4-minute bout. And then whenever I'm in the rest zone, I just back it off, obviously.
Yeah, the bike's a good one. Because they got that on the one that I use. I'll use it to warm up just to get my heart rate up, and it'll be like the RPM I don't know.
Whatever your pacing is,
And it's like if I start to slow down, you'll see the number going. It's like oh
yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Yeah, you gotta start pedaling again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I like for VO2 Max. I like machines because you can track it like that. Keep yourself honest.
Use the tools to your advantage.
Exactly. So that's what I do for like your cardio. VO2 Max, Zone 2. Obviously, if you're running 5Ks, like I'm running a couple of 5Ks this year, you also need to train your like stride. And my gym has like a legit stride machine.
Is it that one where you have to run on it yourself to get it going?
Well, you run on it to get it going, then you can start the machine and all that. But you literally have to stretch your legs out.
Yeah.
So between some of my weightlifting, I'll do that while I'm waiting to start working again on the weights, just to train my stride to be bigger for those 5Ks, those runs, But since I started this cardio training after reading Peter Attia's book, because before I read his book, I was like, screw cardio.
Yeah.
Cardio sucks. No one's
wasting my time.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, cardio is pretty important for your health.
Yeah, long term.
And I can definitely tell a difference in my performance, like running. My 5Ks have gotten faster. Jiu-jitsu, I'm breathing normal while other people are just like breathing super hard, so it literally makes a difference.
Yeah.
And so for my training, that's what I've been focusing on. I'm focusing on the strength side of the house with the weightlifting, cardio side of the house with the other stuff,
Yeah.
Holding on to my muscle mass is also a priority, but it's, a lesser priority compared to strength and cardio now.
Setting your priorities straight. Yeah.
Trying to keep my muscle mass,
right?
But strength and cardio are the number ones.
Okay.
Once I go back into like that surplus phase, I'll focus on building more muscle while getting stronger and getting faster cardio wise.
Right.
Okay. So that's what I'm doing.
Nice.
And then last thing for me, the longevity. We talked about it in podcast episode 89, but I'm starting to dial that in. We've talked about the diet. We've talked about the supplements. We talked about the exercise. Those are like the first things towards the longevity.
Right.
But keeping track of your blood work, that's something else I'm doing every 6 months. Blood pressure. Monitoring blood pressure every day.
Right.
For me, as recommended by Dr. Attia and my doctor at Marek Health.
Right.
The blood pressure's like the silent killer because a lot of people don't know what their blood pressure is. And if it's over 120 over 80, then you're going to start damaging your blood vessels mechanically, which means as you get older, your blood vessels will be weaker, which means your body's more at risk for certain things happening to it. And you can damage your blood vessels two ways, basically. The first way is chemically, which is like people smoking. Bless you. Like smoking or anyone that's ever smoked, that's damaging your blood vessels chemically. Then you got mechanical damage, which is your high blood pressure. Your blood's just pumping through them all the time. It's making them move around and stuff. It's making them weaker.
Yeah.
So you want to keep your blood pressure 120 over 80 or less for your blood vessel health.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And also your organs too, because all that blood's going through your organs. So if you got a high blood pressure, you're just freaking pounding your organs.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I did have higher blood pressure when I started checking it. And once I fixed my sleep, fixed my stress. Huh?
You remember what it was
I don't remember what it was at. Like
it was above that, though?
130s, 140s.
Dang. Not too bad, but yeah.
Not too bad, yeah. But now it's under 120 over 80.
Nice.
Consistently.
Yeah.
I measure it every night.
You got a machine? Or?
Yeah, I got a little machine.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. I'll let you try it.
What, it goes on your finger or on your arm?
It goes on your arm.
It's
a cuff.
The
little cuff up here. You hit the button. Yep. Oh, yeah.
It's crushing your arm. Yeah. Yeah, I know that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, I keep that in check, and then I'm paying attention to the 4 horsemen of the chronic disease, which we talked about in episode 89. You got your heart disease, cancer, dementia, and other mental illnesses and metabolic dysfunction.
Yeah.
So I'm just paying attention to those things, trying to keep everything in check with my diet, exercise, supplements, reducing visceral fat, and got some upcoming tests coming up this next year. The DEXA scan, which Dr. Attia recommends annually, which is where you lay on. It's basically like you lay into this machine.
MRI?
Yep, scans your whole body, and it gives you your most accurate body composition, so like your body fat percentage, your muscle mass, your bone density, all these types of things.
Dang.
So he recommends getting it done annually, so you can track your muscle mass and you can track your visceral fat. And second test, VO2 max tests, where you got the mask on, you have to work, and they're going to tell you what your VO2 max is.
Nice.
Dr. Attia recommends getting that done once a year.
You doing that through your doctor?
I'm trying to. I'm getting a new local doctor because I can't do it through my telehealth doctor.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out, where you were doing that test at.
Yeah, so you got to
figure it out.
I got an appointment with my new local doctor in January 2024. I'm going to try and set it up once I get that relationship established.
Nice.
So I'll let you know.
Yeah. Well, it's like you always see the super athletes doing where they might just be running, but they got the mask.
They got the mask. They're testing it. They're keeping track of it.
It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, they make them go hard.
I mean, it kind of looks badass.
Yeah. And then stuff like seeing a dermatologist so they can check out your skin.
Yeah.
Dr. Attia does recommend a colonoscopy by age 40 and every 2 years. So I got a couple of years till that's coming, but I'm keeping tabs on it. I was in the Navy, so it's no big deal for me.
Right. Holy
blood work for me every 6 months so I can track that ApoB and manage it properly along with my other markers, testosterone and all the other stuff. So, I mean, the blood panel is super detailed.
Yeah.
The doctor will go through everything with you if you work with the telehealth company that I'm working with. So that's basically it for me, boys. That's what that's what I learned.
It's just kind of listening to everything, about what tests to do and taking all the separate pieces, putting them together for overall health. It's like you really got to lock in.
Yeah.
You really got to get serious.
Yeah. I think you just pick out one thing and you just get that pretty good. Then you go to the next thing.
Yeah.
I think probably the most important thing is your food selections. So if someone's like, hey, how do I start this? How do I start thinking about health, fitness, longevity? I'd be like, hey, first of all, get the Carbon Diet Coach.
Yeah.
Go to a maintenance calories and just track your food for like 3 weeks, because that way you can kind of figure out what you're eating actually. You might not even know.
Figure out where you're at.
Right. You might be eating less than you need to maintain your weight. You might be eating more than you need to actually maintain your weight. So once, 3 weeks is pretty good to let the app, as long as you're in compliance, you got to be in compliance.
Yeah.
But you eat at compliance, eat at maintenance, let the app figure out, okay, this is what this person needs to eat to maintain this weight. And I would recommend weighing in every single day to give your app as many inputs as possible. Then you can decide, do I want to go into a fat loss phase or do I want to go into a muscle gain phase? And you do understand that going into a muscle gain phase, you're going to add body fat too.
Yeah, you're going to get a little bigger.
You're going to get thicker, right? If you go into a fat loss phase, you have the potential to lose muscle.
Yeah.
So, are you the type of person where you're already under muscled? Do you have too little muscle? If so, you probably want to do a gain phase, even if you have some body fat, you know?
Yeah.
Or are you pretty well muscled and you just need to lose some fat? In that case, you might go into a fat loss phase.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me with tracking my food was not getting enough protein.
That's a big one.
And that's always been probably the biggest thing for me probably why I've been so I've worked out since I've been in college, so like 2015 since I've worked out pretty, for the most part.
Yeah.
And just putting on size was always a thing. And it was just because under eating,
Yeah.
And it's like in college, maybe that's fine because like you're on a budget, you know, like you only got so much money. And but like, you know, once you get some money, or maybe you budget your shit out to where you can like buy more food. Just tracking it. Yeah. Like without even being like, I'm gonna go gain or I'm gonna go, you know, cut or whatever. Just like seeing where you're at. Because like mine was like, I was like 50 grams at least, maybe more than that. Yeah. And it was just because like I was just not being smart about the food I'm eating. Right. Or if I'm eating the right foods, I'm not eating enough, you know? Yeah. So it's like, or where can I plug stuff in? Where can I plug that protein shake in? And where can I add the milk in? Or where can I add the protein? So maybe let me go get some yogurt. Yeah. Like 20-gram yogurt. Definitely. Because Chobani's got, or I think Chobani, like the other ones, like Oikos or something like that. Oikos.
There's like generic brands of basically Chobani.
But if you go to the store and you're just looking, like there's all kinds of categories. You can get the non-fat, like you were saying. Like
non-fat Chobani is what I get.
Or you can get the heavy protein ones, which is what I do. Where it's like you get 20 grams of protein in 1 cup, and it's like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean the like, Chobani that I eat, I get about 20 grams of protein out of it, which is 1 scoop of milk, you know? So I actually reduced my supplements because I'm adding in the Greek yogurt, which has the micronutrients in it as well. Yeah. You know?
And it just is like, it's like a snack.
But Walmart has, it's like a snack. And Walmart has the Walmart brand Greek yogurt. It literally has the same stuff as the Chobani. I just like the Chobani better. I've tried both of them, you know?
Yeah, it can be whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's just like being smart about what you're choosing to eat. You know?
Well, the protein, too, like that's what Dr. Peter Attia says is the number 1 macronutrient for longevity. You want to hit your protein. Yeah. So it's like what I do is basically my meals, I got 4 meals a day. My daily protein, I divide between those 4 meals, and then I fit my carbs in as I can. Yeah. You know? And then the fats, I try to eat more fats later in the day versus earlier in the day. Yeah. You know? But I mean,
find what works for you.
Yeah, find what works for you.
Don't test it out.
Don't cut out all of the foods you like. Like if you like ice cream, don't just cut it out. Just add it into your daily plan, or not daily, but every couple days.
Just figure out when you're going to eat it.
Exactly.
You know, like, hey, maybe I don't eat X. Maybe I don't eat that.
Right.
Little Debbie cake at lunchtime. Right. How you can replace that with ice cream. Exactly. A small portion. Exactly. Or however much, you know.
Just be compliant to your macros, whether there's a little Debbie cake or ice cream in there or not. Yeah. You know. And then figure out what foods you like eating. Like I obviously like the vertical diet. It works really well for me. Might not work good for you. Yeah. So it's just something you got to play around with and figure out what works best for you, you know?
For sure.
And then like for exercises, you know, you got your, obviously strength is super important. So lift some weights, keep it simple, you know, and then cardiovascular is important. Like if you've never trained cardiovascular, don't worry about VO2 max, worry about zone 2. Yeah. Just take your walks, your daily walks and get your heart rate up. Once you've done that for a couple weeks, then get into the VO2 max training. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So that's what I would do. Yeah. First of all, get the carbon diet coach. It's minimal cost to that. Eat at maintenance, track your weight. Once you got that done for 3 weeks, then start looking at if you're going to start gaining muscle or losing fat, you know? And the other thing people do too is they jump off of one train really fast. You know, someone in a fat loss phase, they see that they're getting smaller. Like this has been hard for me, you know, watching my body change. It's like I'm getting smaller. Yeah. I've never been this small in a long time, you know? And it's like, I just want to get big again. So, but you don't want to like keep jumping around. You know, that's called a yo-yo diet. Right. You know, you want to stick to your protocols, which takes some discipline. Yeah. Yeah. And once you hit your goal, then you shift gears and you go back the other way. Yeah. You know? Sure. But yeah, definitely take some discipline, especially if you're in a fat loss phase, and definitely take some like planning, like you were saying, planning out your meals, planning out your workouts.
Or just commit to one thing.
Just commit to one thing.
For like a month.
Right.
Just show up at the gym.
Exactly.
You don't know what to do, just, you know, just Google.
Just have a good time
do like
first.
3 exercises. Yeah. You're good. If you've been in the gym for a while, like push yourself, like maybe lift heavy at the beginning of your working sets. Like, like that's probably the biggest thing for me.
Yeah. If you get in there and like you've been lifting for a while, you better make sure you're pushing yourself.
You
might have to track it. You might got to write your weight to your phone or something.
Because like what I used to do is mix up my exercises after like a month or something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like you were saying, do dumbbell bench press instead of bench press.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you're not pushing the weight, it's not gonna matter.
Right, it doesn't matter.
So.
Yeah, you have to literally challenge your body to make your body force it to change, basically force it to adapt. You know. So anyway, what else? What other thoughts you got? Health, fitness, longevity.
That's it. I mean, I keep it pretty simple for me.
Yeah, I try. I mean, for me, it's simple because I've just the other thing too is that you build the habit, you're good to go.
Yeah.
So once you build the habit,
or after a while, it's like you just know.
Right.
You know, like
well, you're not even thinking about it because you got the habit down.
Yeah.
So the way I'm eating on the vertical diet, it's like such a habit at this point. Things don't really tempt me anymore. Yeah. Like I used to get tempted by the kids having a bowl of candy on the counter. I'd be like, oh, let me sneak that in.
Little Reese's cup.
Yeah, little Reese's cup. Oh, you know. But I don't really get tempted anymore. I can walk by anything and be good to go.
Yeah.
Now, if I decide that, hey, I'm feeling like having some ice cream today, I'll have some ice cream. Yeah. And I'll put it in my tracker. Yeah. You know, I'll still be in compliance for the day, no factor. Yeah. You know, no factor.
Don't freak over the small stuff. You know?
Exactly. All right. So, real quick, let's just go through some sponsors here. Pack Talk Podcast. First off, we got Canine Revolution Dog Training. If you need dog training, we're here to help you. We're here to let you know what we can do for you. So you can reach out to us at www.caninerevolutiondogtraining.com. You can listen to all the stories of our trainers on Pack Talk Podcast. Erin, our trainer Erin, episode 91. My episode 67. Trainer Lexy, episode 52. Trainer Kevin, episode 51. Trainer Chris, episode 48. So you can listen to their stories if you want to hear about what they have to say, you know, and if you decide to sign up for dog training, you can definitely select the trainer if you want to. Yeah. You know, Chris, he's in pretty high demand. You know?
Is it?
Oh, yeah, he's in high demand, boys.
All right.
So, anyway, that's Canine Revolution Dog Training. On our next sponsor, Canine Revolution Apparel, right? So we got shirts, we got hoodies, we got beanies, we got mugs, we got rain jackets. All that's on Amazon. Ben's got the Good to Go shirt on today.
Comfy.
It's comfy. It's good to go.
Really soft.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Honestly.
Oh yeah. I mean, you've been wearing that shirt for a couple of days. Let's be honest.
A couple of days.
Let's be honest. You know, it was so soft you don't want to take it off.
Yeah. It is a comfy ass shirt. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you can search Canine Revolution Apparel on Amazon or go to the link down below in the description. Check out the storefront. Get a couple things. Be good to go. We're also proud to be partnered with Origin USA, which is American materials, American hands, American soul. Everything sourced in America, everything made in America. Nice. They got the Delta 68 jeans, which I got some on today. Yeah. Ben's got to get some new ones.
Because I went up in a size.
They got the Nylock field shorts, you know, which obviously I'm a fan of those. That's the only shorts I wear.
Oh, I know.
They got the workout gear. They got the MMA gear, right? Basically whatever you need. Belts, pants, boots. You've been wearing your boots.
The boots
recently.
are good.
You've been wearing your boots.
Boots are good.
Buffalo bison
During
boots.
the wintertime, they legit.
Oh, yeah.
Lifesaver.
Oh, yeah.
From cold feet. Like, legit, my feet are, like, warm all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got the bison boots.
Yeah,
boys.
they're pretty awesome.
So support America, support yourself, support the podcast. Go to originusa.com. Use discount code Singer101 at checkout for 10% off your order. Nice. Now, today we were talking about health, fitness, longevity. We talked about supplements. You know, there's only one place we're getting our supplements, right? One place.
JF.
Jocko Fuel.
JF, baby.
JockoFuel.com. Hard work, clean fuel, no excuses. American sourced, American made supplements that are technically good for you. Other supplements, literally good for you. Other supplements, they got some fillers in there. Yeah. They put some cheap stuff in there, right? Not Jocko Fuel.
Well, I got the Jocko pre-workout.
Oh, you did?
I got the Jocko pre-workout.
How'd it go?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Makes me a little itchy.
Does it really?
It does make me a little itchy.
What's your deal?
I don't know.
That's what Chris said.
Does it?
It doesn't do that to me.
Really? Yeah. I've never had a clean track record with pre-workout. Like, because normally it makes my heart crazy. And to where I'm like, I'm not doing this shit. But keeps my heart good. Yeah. Doesn't make my heart go, you know, which is like I'll take itchy over making my heart freak out.
Yeah.
So
now the thing about the Jocko Fuel pre-workout that I found is it brings me up, you know, without going overboard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make my skin itch, though.
I feel jacked to work out. And then afterwards, it's like I have like a good energy state.
Yeah.
But
no crash.
It's not like an insane peak.
Right.
You know, where it just you skyrocket.
It's like you got those slow burn logs. You know, you fire them up.
Oh,
you know, now you got the fuel.
Yeah.
You know, you got that extra oomph to get you through that workout.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to not
What
use
flavor
it.
did you get?
The blue raspberry.
Yeah, that's the flavor I got. It's a good flavor. So, yeah, I'm definitely taking that whenever I need some pre-workout, you know.
I also got some Jocko cookies.
You got the cookies?
I got a couple cookies.
Did you really? They had them at that store you went to? Really? Did you try them? Oh, yeah? What were we thinking?
They're good.
Yeah, they're good, boys.
They're good.
They're good.
I got one more.
22 grams of protein.
Really?
And the cookie. 22
It says on
grams.
the package 14.
Oh, is it 14? Have to verify.
I'll verify when I get
Have
back.
to verify.
I'll get back to my house.
Yeah, they got the milk cookies. Those are good. My kids like those.
Yeah, they're
know.
good. They're good.
I like the milk protein powder still. That's what I'm still taking.
No, but I like the milk protein
Yeah,
powder.
which they got the new flavors out.
What?
For the milk protein.
You know?
It's in a bag now. It's not in the traditional protein
really?
can. It's like in a bag. And I haven't tried it yet, but I got one in the cabinet, and it says new improved flavor. You know how they amped up the flavors on the energy drinks?
Yeah, they did a rebrand. Or
Yeah,
they did a rehaul on the look.
Yeah, they did it with the milk too.
Did they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like the flavors are supposed to be more flavorful.
Interesting.
But still clean.
I mean,
clean
the Jocko,
energy.
the chocolate one. That's what I normally get.
I got the chocolate peanut butter.
Chocolate peanut butter.
Yeah.
I mean,
it tastes like a Reese's.
Yeah.
Makes me think of Reese's when I'm
good.
taking it. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, I got the greens too. They got the greens, which, you know, helps fill in your the gaps in your diet with some superfoods in powder form.
Yeah.
They got the energy drinks, the Go Energy, which I just had a blue raspberry today, which is freaking good. That's good about the energy drinks too, is it gets that slow amped up and no crash, you know. But they've also got a bunch of other supplements. They've got Time War, which is going to be your longevity support, your daily vitamin matrix. It's got a multivitamin there. It's got and a couple other capsules in there that are longevity cardiovascular support for your body. They got the Super Krill oil, which is like fish oil but better. They got the Joint Warfare, which is, you know, joint support, helping your joints out, lubricating them up. They got the Cold War, which I said earlier. That's your immunity support if you're feeling sick. You know, like we just had the flu go through here. I was definitely taking Cold War twice a day.
Yeah.
Trying to get on the train.
Right.
Combat Testosterone, which is your testosterone booster. I'm taking that. Definitely effective.
Nice.
You know. But they got a bunch of stuff. You know, they got white tea. If you're sick, you need some white tea.
Yeah.
So if you need it, Jocko Fuel has it. Support yourself. Support the podcast by getting the best supplements. JockoFuel.com. Use discount code Canine Revolution at checkout for 10% off your order. Don't forget.
Don't forget that code.
Don't forget the code. Don't forget your supplements. Don't run out of your supplements like Ben.
Yeah.
Ben's like, I ran out of milk. I'm like, nope, my milk's good to go. I'm ordering that when it's time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I ain't going to be running out. All right, for your dogs, we're partnered with Canine Super Supplements, the best supplements for your dogs made in America. Right? So we got the Jocko Fuel supporting you, the dog owner, the dog trainer. Now we're supporting the dogs with the Canine Super Supplements, right? So the primary supplements they got the joint support for dogs. They got the multivitamin. They got the, can you hear that?
That's good.
Yeah. They got the weight gainer, which I will say we've had some dogs that have come into training that needed to gain some weight. So we got them on the weight gainer, 100% effective.
Yeah.
100% effective.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Nice.
And these dogs, I mean, they were eating food. We're talking about like an 80-pound dog eating like 8 cups of food a day. That's too much food.
Dang.
But we're trying to help the dog gain weight.
Yeah.
So we got them on the weight gainer.
Nice.
We told the owners, hey, the weight gainer is effective. Recommend you get it when this dog comes home.
Right.
You know, keep them on the train.
Yeah.
They got the puppy formula supplement specifically for puppies, but your older dogs can take it too for overall growth and development, immunity support, digestive health, so forth and so forth. All natural ingredients. So you definitely want to check out CanineSuperSupplements.com. You can use discount code Canine Revolution for 15% off.
Nice.
15% off Canine Super Supplements.
I know they got a joint one, too, which I think
Yeah.
I'm going to start given my dog.
Yeah, I got these guys on. My dog's on the joint
Yeah.
support, the multivitamin, and the puppy formula.
Yeah.
So good to go. All right. We also like supporting local. And we like supporting you, our listeners. So we partnered with a bunch of local businesses in the South Carolina Low Country. Make sure you tell them Canine Revolution for discounts on their products and services. We've got DT Mobile Detailing, which is your car detailing. We got Sharpshooter Pressure Wash, technically trainer Chris Tipton's brother Josh. Pressure wash your house, pressure wash your chicken coop, pressure wash your tractor, pressure wash whatever.
Pressure wash
Your sidewalk. Yeah, you can do that. Your porch.
Yeah.
We got All Is Well Somerville. They were also on podcast episode 14. That's your dog nutritionist services and your allergy testing and grooming.
Yep.
Then we got the Carolina Premier Home Inspections. Bob was on episode 74. We got Carolina Premier Pest Control. Again, Bob on episode 74. He's the owner. I was just talking to somebody the other day. They need a termite guy. I was like, Bob's your guy.
Yeah,
He's going to take care of you.
Yeah, he's good to go.
Carolina Premier Pest Control. We've also got the Velazquez Company, owned by Antonio, doing big things. He just painted this stained this huge pavilion for the town of Somerville.
Look good.
Yeah, definitely. We got Black Force MMA, owned by Dwight Decker. He was on episode 71 of the podcast. Also, MMA Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Also,
Legend. Just
finished the Jiu-Jitsu World Tournament. Got the gold medal.
Team USA.
So, no factor.
Mm-hmm.
We've also got Dr. Anthony Lanzera, owner of Cane Bay Chiropractic. He was on episode 7 of the podcast. And we've also got Lanzera Defense Strategies, which is your CWP and your CWP refresher courses. And he was on episode 58 of the podcast. Okay. And then our last local business is Aquafusion IV Hydration, downtown Somerville. You need those nutrients. You need them right to your bloodstream. That's what Aquafusion IV Hydration does. So check these guys out. If you need some of these services, hit them up. Tell them Canine Revolution. Be good to go. All right. Don't forget, visit Pack Talk Podcast on YouTube for video versions of the podcast and for exclusive content. If you'd like me to be a guest speaker at your event, just email me, Chad Singer at caninerevolutiondogtraining.com. If you're a business owner or a dog trainer, if you need a coach, if you need a consultant, you can also email me. And then just want to say thank you. Thank you to our military. Thank you to our first responders. Thank you to our teachers. Canine Revolution Dog Training is proud to offer you discounts for dog training services. So let us know how we can serve you guys. Okay. Thank you to all Canine Revolution Dog Training and Canine Revolution Apparel teams for all you guys do, taking care of dogs, taking care of people. Good to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Thought of the day today. What do you got?
I'm blanking.
Dropping it on you. First thought to come to your head. Holy
I'm flatlining.
Shit. You're flatlining. My thought of the day, get stronger. Get faster, get smarter, get healthier, get better, just one day at a time, though.
Yeah.
You know, so we talked about health, fitness, longevity. We like doing this episode for you guys once a year just to give you some of our lessons learned throughout the year. One day at a time.
Yeah.
You know, one day at a time. Make little changes. Don't try to change things too rapidly, though, you know, because then you're on different paths. Too confusing. Your body can't properly adapt. You know, set a plan, set a goal, attack that goal, and then slowly get better, right? One day at a time.
Yeah.
So, but thank you guys for tuning in. As always, please leave us a review. Please rate us on your favorite podcasting platform. It does help us. And until next time, this is Pack Talk Podcast, out.